Beat Wishart! I'll start by putting my cards on the table. I loathe and detest this Tory Brexit. And I despair what this Tory Brexit would do to my beautiful country. This is, as we know, to be the hardest hard Brexit with cuts yet unimaginable and consequences yet inconceived. And for what? If we were doing this for some lofty ideal, some grand purpose, like maybe addressing global poverty, maybe addressing some of the huge issues of injustices around the world, it would maybe just make it about palatable. But no, we're doing this because the UK doesn't like immigration. That is the cold beating heart of this bad British Brexit, and it underpins absolutely everything concerning our departure from the EU. It takes precedence over everything else, and all other considerations are merely consequential. The thing is, we live in an interconnected, globalised world where the movements of people have never been so profound. Fleeing from prosecution, maybe that's the case, maybe it's exchange of skills and ideas. And somehow we're asked to believe the myth that Brexitised UK will beat back this historic tide like some sort of Farageist Canute. I actually laughed out loud when I heard all this guff about a global UK. A global UK is the last thing possible they want to create. This is drawbridge UK that they're trying to create. And look at the response from the rest of the world. When they're not laughing at us, they're simply taking pity on us. As the Foreign Secretary goes out his way to insult the very people we have to negotiate with, they're thinking of nothing other than the hardest of conditions to deter anybody else from considering leaving. A negotiating position, you ask? Well, it seems the negotiation position seems to be threatening to our EU partners that we will indulge in even further economic self-harm if they dare look after their own interests. Apparently, we're even considering turning the UK into some sort of offshore, deregulated tax haven if the EU actually thinks about looking after its own interests. That will show them then, won't it? It's not just the fact of leaving the EU that concerns me, ghastly enough though that is. It's a new ideology, the new worldview that's hastily being designed to accommodate this new splendid isolation. I see a Brexitised Britain as a world of weird 50s nostalgia, being antipathetic to foreigners, and a reality that will feel very much like the pages of a Daily Mail editorial. People of Britain, work as if you live in the early days of a UKIP UK, because that is what's coming. Scotland, of course, didn't want any part of this, but yet we're to be driven off the cliff edge with the rest of the United Kingdom. What we have now, though, is options. We've presented a plan to stop Scotland indulging in the worst of this madness. If that's not listened to, we have every right to reconsider our membership of this United Kingdom.
Jeremy Lefroy.